Welcome to Mr. Tolbert's class, Physical Science. This is lesson number 1 in chapter 1. What is science? Science is a system of knowledge based on facts and principles. You should be writing this in your word maps. This is also one of the new words that we're writing in our word maps. Please pay careful note to add those to your word maps. Natural science. This is what you need to know, ladies and gentlemen. Natural science looks just like this here. Natural science is harder to see a little bit at the top. It is the main branch that all these other sciences belong to. So, biological science, physical science, and earth science all belong to natural science. It is the main umbrella of the sciences. You're in physical science class, and it's broken into 2 basic categories: physics and chemistry. And if we're going to break it down a bit further to give you more information, physics is force and energy, and chemistry is matter and its changes. Natural science. This goes in your word map. Natural science is the general branch that all other sciences belong. It deals with the phenomenon from what we would call our natural universe. Where does all this take place? It takes place by your observations. We utilize our senses in order to figure it out, and technology. Sometimes the technology doesn't exist to make the needed observations. You see things, you hear, taste, touch, all of these things we use to help make us our observations about our general world. What is technology? Technology is the application of science to meet human needs. So if there's a need, we apply science, we figure out something, we create something, and it's called technology. In fact, a simple pencil or a pen is a piece of technology. A piece of paper is a piece of technology. We have the need to write and record things, so we have gone through several reiterations of those items in the thousands of years people have been writing and reading things and recording our history. We observe. By paying close attention, we look for connections and patterns in nature. Scientific law versus scientific theory. You should be writing this down. Scientific law is a summary of an observed natural event, where a theory is a tested possible explanation of a natural event. So one is summary, it just tells you what happens, but the other actually tells you the why and the how. That being said, this is why and how. This is simply a summary. The law is. These are the nuts and bolts. A scientific theory must explain simply and clearly. The experiments must also illustrate the theory to be repeatable and be able to predict from that theory. Scientific theories can be changed or replaced when new discoveries are made. As I said before, laws just summarize events or natural occurrences. They don't give the how and why. Critical thinking. Applying logic and reason to observations and conclusions. We want you to be critical thinkers. We want you to apply logic and reasons to all the things that you're doing. We want you to be good thinkers. Here they are. This is the method of science, scientific method. It's a system of how we figure out things in the universe. Identify the problem, collect information, form a hypothesis, test the hypothesis, experimental design, make observations, any tables and graphs. Now, this system can start any particular place. For instance, I believe it always starts with making observations. You have to observe that something has happened or something hasn't happened in order for you to decide if it's a problem. In order for you to come to a conclusion, you will have had to look at something, observed it, witnessed it, in order to come to a conclusion. So if there's anything that is first, the first thing I always say is make an observation. Sometimes it's your point of view. To form a hypothesis to answer, you could ask a hypothesis type of question. A variable is anything in an experiment that can change. Good experiments only have one thing that changes at once. One variable. And that'll be the end of my lecture for today. All of these words should be in your word map. Now your word map is complete.